Good morning, tubers, family, and friends. John's swimming in the pool this morning. It's not raining, so that's a good sign. I see some blue sky right there, so that's not bad. So we need to talk right now about what's going on. If you guys don't see what's going on, I mean, even a blind man can see it. Okay, let's clear the slate right now. Get out of your heads that it's ever going to get better in the U.S. before it gets much worse. Okay, and get out of your heads right now that Trump is going to win the Republican primary and be the next president. Get all that stuff out of your head, or even that Biden's going to win the election. None of that stuff is going to happen. There's no way in hell. Biden is just a complete puppet with handlers from the deep state, right? He's nothing. He is an old man, a heartbeat away from 6 feet under. I mean, this guy is he should be in a nursing home, and he's on the edge of the afterlife right now. So get all that out of your head that Biden's even going to be around come election time. And you know the deep state, they are the chess masters. They have had a lock on the whole political situation in the U.S. ever since they took out JFK and assassinated him in 1963. These evil people that are never elected, they're appointed government officials in the three-letter agencies. These are the people that control the deep state, and with their evil cabal behind them in the Illuminati that has been around for centuries. These people, Khazarian Mafia is what you can also say. That's the group, because they are the group in power behind the deep state, and they are into satanic rituals, and they drink children's blood, and these are the kinds of people that are controlling the U.S. and has been for decades. So get out of your mind that there's any hope for the future. The only way for hope for the future is to take these evil people completely out. Take them out. That's the only way it's going to work. And there's only two possibilities. Either the American people get off their ass and wake up and take these people out, or a foreign power is going to take them out. Because you guys, you're completely lost and fooled if you think that China and Russia don't already know that the only way that they can win and get out of this thing with these evil cabal in the power structure of the U.S. and the U.K. and the NATO states, the only way that they can win is to take out the head of the snake in the U.S. It's the only way. And it's either they're going to do it or the U.S. people are going to do it. That's the only two scenarios there are. Why do you think God told me to get out of the U.S.? It's ground zero. The U.S. is absolute ground zero for what's coming. He told me to get out of the U.S. 10 years ago, and now I'm here in the Philippines. This is where he told me to come. Why? Because it's a country that is blessed by God, right? They have laws. Their constitution protects the family. Their laws say destroying the family through divorce is illegal in the Philippines. These are this is why God told me to come here with my family and to have more children and to obey His commandments. This is because the whole situation that's going on in the U.S. and the rest of the world right now, with all these wars ramping up, we are already in World War III. You just never know that it's World War III until the first nuke is dropped. And when the first nuke is dropped or fired from a missile or set off from a suitcase nuke, because there's up to 50 suitcase nukes, and they've known about them for like 30 years now. That when the Soviet Union broke up, all these suitcase nukes disappeared, right? And are unaccounted for to this day. And there's all kinds of prophetic dreams and reports that a lot of these nukes, suitcase nukes, made it into the U.S. And they're just waiting with sleeper cells for the right time because they know what's going on, right? I mean, it's prophetic, it's prophecy. This stuff will happen. The sin and the moral destitution of what's happening in the U.S., God has already turned his back on the U.S. and given the power to the enemies to take out the U.S. as we know it today. And it's sad. And I actually am part of the baby boomer generation, and I'm just as much to blame as everyone else by being lost, not understanding what's going on, and letting our country fall into the hands of these evil people. Well, it happened the year I was born, 1963, right? When this evil cabal took over the government of the United States, and they've had a lock on the power ever since. Ronald Reagan tried to get out of that power by instituting the Grace Commission to find out where the income tax money goes to that people pay, massive amounts of income tax, right? Because the income tax was designed only for federal privileged workers, because there's no layoffs. It's not a seasonal job. It's protected by the government. It's what's called a privileged job. Privileged, right? It's protected by the government. Government keeps going and going and going, right? So there's no chance of layoffs. It's very secure. So the income tax is only for government employees to give back because of their privileged jobs, right? That's what the whole income tax is. It's a federal income tax, meaning it's only for federal workers. And also they've applied it to territories of the United States. So if you're a resident of the 50 states, it does not apply to you. Never did. But once you start filling out your 1040 forms and filing, and because you've been fooled and lied to by everyone under the sun that you must pay your income tax, right? And then automatic deductions off of your paychecks. That's the whole thing is illegal as hell too. You have to file paperwork with the IRS saying it's a, what is it called? Revocation of election. Revocation of election. It's in the Constitution, not in the Constitution, but it's in the congressional record that they made an out for people. It's in the congressional record that if you ever get sucked into the income tax system, not knowing that it does not apply to you, you can get out of it by filling out. It's not a form. It's just like an affidavit, and you have to call it revocation of election. So you're basically electing to get out of the income tax system. I've done this years ago. Years ago. Am I in prison? Am I screwed? No. I just followed the law. I did the research and followed the law, and you can too. That's all you got to do. And so many people they think the 16th Amendment changed everything and caused the whole American public to pay the income tax. No. You look at the Supreme Court rulings. There was like three or four cases, Supreme Court rulings, because it was brought to the Supreme Court of the whole income tax deal and all the findings. If you do your research, and there's many people know about this, but just the majority of people don't, because they're too lazy to figure it out. And they think, oh, I'm going to lose something. Oh, I have a family to support. Oh, something bad could happen to me. Oh, they might take everything I have. That's all fear-mongering. Complete fear-mongering, ladies and gentlemen. So you really need to do your research and understand what's going on there. I mean, it's crazy what fear does, and all it takes is you to get smart and know what the laws are. Read the law. Read your Constitution. Constitution's very clear. They cannot tax your labor. It's very clear in the first articles of the Constitution. And what the 16th Amendment, when it was passed, it did not change anything. That's what the Supreme Court made very clear. It did not change the Constitution. In order for to change the Constitution, the articles that say you can't tax your labor has to be repealed. There was no constitutional articles that were repealed. Hi, little boy. Good morning. Good morning. Say good morning, Daddy. Say good morning, Daddy. Say good morning. Give me a hug. Good job. Hi, girls.
Wow, no
Bless Moon, bless Belin.
Good morning,
karon kay pwede mo tignan mag-swimming man udto aka ng alas 2.
Hi, buddy. Yeah, everybody's here.
He said, "Oh, I'm gonna swim soon."
Come on, buddy. Good job. Yeah, Ruel and Lizelle and the girls just arrived.
He's very funny because over there's a tiny black thing dropped from that tree.
Yeah.
Coconut. Then, Leonardo, come here. Let's go. Then he just yucks. Yes, I said,
You don't want to step on it? Silly boy.
I know, right? Let's go. We're going to get egg for Daddy.
Come on, go get an egg.
Yeah.
Go get your egg.
Hey, come on. Come here.
Okay, go mommy, go mommy.
Say bye-bye, Daddy.
Bye-bye. Bye.
He's happy to John over there, aquarium. He's just laughing with me. He's so
Oh.
under the water.
That's good. See, we have a good life here. I mean, we're way out in the jungle. And when things really get bad and people are trying to get out of the U.S., because that's like I say, it's gonna be ground zero. I'm completely ready to help anybody that I need to help, that are escaping, that are immigrating to the Philippines, because it is the sanctuary that God prepared for many people. It's the only English-speaking Christian country in all of Southeast Asia. And like I say, I'm way out in the jungle. I can survive, right? I grow fruit, grow vegetables, raise my own animals, everything, right? All this can be done very easily here in the Philippines. So you can basically live off the land like you used to be able to do in the U.S. But it's so bad in the U.S., unless you own land, which is like what, less than 1% of the population owns land in the Philippines. You know why I say that? Because if you pay a property tax, you don't own it. And that's the truth. They can come and take your land at any time. If you can't pay the property tax, they're going to come and take your land in a heartbeat. So that, because the enforcement from the police state of the U.S. will come and take it. In the Philippines, it's not like that. Family is number one. Government's number two. And the government's been created by the people here, like it should be in every single country where the people have the power, not the government. So this is a real sanctuary for you and your family to escape to. But when you come here to the Philippines, you really need a guide to tell you, what to do, where to go, so you're away from natural disasters, so you know the people, you know the culture, you know where you can go to self-sustain yourself. And I'm willing to do that for anybody that requests in the comments for any kind of help. I would absolutely love to have some like-minded people from the U.S. or other countries to come and settle in this area. It's really a good sweet spot. It's on the largest island of the Philippines, way far south, which is way away from the biggest country, or the biggest city in the Philippines, which is Manila, the capital. And it's way away from that, right? So it's away from all the big populations. There's still, and I have Starlink, so I'm still connected to the world through Starlink. And you can do that too, right? And then you can live off the land if you have to. If you have money coming in until the whole system breaks down, that's great. Have your savings. Like I say, the best savings here, people have been doing it for thousands of years, is gold. They save their gold. Whatever they do, they sell lumber or sell coconuts or have big agriculture, and when they have extra money, they put it in gold. Mostly gold jewelry, right? Because everything here is based on the weight of gold. Coins don't matter. So if it's in a bar form or it's in jewelry, your value retains a little bit higher because it takes labor to make jewelry. But the best, because coins, any increase that you pay, any premiums that you pay over the spot price of gold, you lose here in the Philippines because they just melt it down. They melt it down and make jewelry out of it. That's the way it works here, and it's worked that way for thousands of years. People don't hold their money unless you have massive amounts. They don't hold their money in fake fiat paper currencies. They don't. And you can't trust anyone and trust the banks anyways. And the value of your paper just keeps going down and down and down, right? So that's the only real option to hold your wealth is land and gold. If you have any kind of future that you want to build up for your family in the future. So I'm just telling you guys my opinions and what I do, and I'm sharing with you guys my life here in the Philippines in the deep jungle of northwestern Mindanao Island. And I just pray that God will speak to you and give you a real clue about what's going on in the earth right now, because this is not going to get better until it gets much worse. So get your loved ones together, talk about it, just like the Jews were warned through the Holy Spirit. Many, for several years before Hitler took over and then started totally slaughtering all the Jews and exterminating the Jewish people, told them through the Holy Spirit, get out of the country, get out of these places that Hitler took over, right? Because they all eventually were rounded up and exterminated. This is the same warning that's going to the people in the U.S. right now. Put down your pride. It's too late. It's way too late, because it's going to get way worse before it gets better. All the targets are pointing to the U.S. You can see it. It's ramping up to that, and it's getting to a point that the nukes are going to fly, or they're going to be set off, either through suitcase nukes or nuclear-tipped missiles, or nuclear MIRV missiles. That means multiple warheads inside missiles that come from submarines. All this stuff, the capabilities are all there, and it will happen. There is no doubt in my mind. All the prophecies are very clear on that, and you just really need to wake up and do your research. If you have any wherewithal whatsoever, get to the Philippines. Come here. I will give you advice of what I know and my knowledge of being here for over 8 years, and I'll help you best I can. But like I say, the only choice is either the American people get together and take out these evil deep state cabal that's going on there in the U.S., or another country's going to do it. That's the two choices. There is no hope in Trump. There is no hope in any political there, because like I say, the Khazarian mafia of the deep state, they have the complete control of the political situation in the U.S. They have ever since they took out and assassinated Kennedy in 1963. They are the chess masters. They're the ones in control. Don't fool yourself and think it's anything different than that, because it's not. So those are the two choices that you have. Come to the Philippines and escape like I did, like the Holy Spirit told me to get out, just like he told the Jews to get out of Germany before Hitler rounded them all up and exterminated them. Or you get together and you take out the evil cabal in the deep state by the people. That's your only two choices. So good luck to you. I'm praying for you either way, what you decide. Love you all, and God bless. Bye-bye.